labeled as myself right now, but I tell you, it really is April. Okay. Greetings, all Toastmasters and guests. Welcome. We are Masters of Evaluation, an advanced and distinguished Toastmasters Club. We meet the first and third Fridays of each month, 9 a.m. Pacific time, like right now. Our club's ambition is to take very seriously providing all of us with a safe, friendly, welcoming environment. And we know a high level of trust, honor, and respect for each participant. It is not only encouraged, but required. Yep. Masters of Evaluation members are focused on perfecting their speaking, leadership, and evaluation skills, which eliminates any room for any kind of personal offense. As Sergeant at Arms, it's also my present role to share a few practices to provide us with a smooth flowing meeting. For example, we ask you to silence your phones. We want to see you, hello there, unless you're moving around, chewing on something, or patting your dog. When you're finished doing any of those activities, turn the camera back on, and we want to see you once you've finished your movements. Now then, in order to make our meeting more interactive, we ask everyone to usually keep your video and certainly your attention fully on. Finally, if you're serving in a speaking or functionary role, we ask you to rename yourself right now so that we can identify what role you serve. These few recommendations will ensure we all have an enjoyable, comfortable, and memorable visit together. I know that we're already recording. And again, remember to turn your phone on when our meeting has concluded. Now, before I announce who I'm turning the meeting over to, it's going to be John White, our president. I wanted to say this. John, this is for you. Can you see?
I can see.
It is a rose. And it honors you, John, because you are the one that rose to the challenge of being Masters of Evaluation president, and job well done. Well done. Everybody give him a cheer. Here's our president, John White.
Thank you very much. Two beautiful roses, what I saw. Thank you very much.
There you are. Now, it is now my pleasure, last time, John, to bring to our virtual stage our dynamic, always intentional, and fun-loving president of Masters of Evaluation, John White.
Oh my goodness. What a bittersweet experience. That's the last time I'll be introduced by you, but that tribute will stay with me beyond this meeting into the new year. Before we get into, we have a lot to cover. We're celebrating and we're acknowledging. We must say hello to our guests. Sometimes I miss them, so help me out. Rakia Bacon, a familiar District 1 presence. How did you find out about us? Good morning.
Hello, everyone. I'm on summer break, and I've been invited to this club so many times. I thought I would come and invite somebody else with me, and I'm just anxious to be a part of District 1 meeting again.
Wonderful. Welcome. Good to see you. She also does Canva training with Shantae Howard and others, among other things. I see, is it Patty Pick Frank? Did I get that right?
It's close enough for government work. I pronounce my name Pick Franca. The last part is German, but I don't expect anybody to say that. I am a friend of Rakia Bacon's, and I am excited to join this meeting here today.
Great. Welcome very much. I think I'm going to get this one. I wish I had a similar name. Hollywood Joe M. Tell us more, Hollywood.
Oh, thank you. Well, I've never been to Hollywood, California, but I've got the nickname Hollywood Joe. And I heard about this club through Sandra Savage, and I'm here to see Sheila Chance, who I understand is a new member being interviewed today. And holy cow, I never know who I'm going to see at Toastmasters in all my travels. And it's Rakia Bacon. I spoke at her club back in 2020. Hello, Rakia, and hello, members.
Great. Welcome. Thank you very much. I think it covered all of the guests. Did I miss anyone? All right. This one's very tough. Whenever we sing or say something in unison, it's very difficult to keep it in sync. But let's unmute. Let's acknowledge that there's a birthday today of a very important member, Judith Ferber. Are we all unmuted? Who has the best voice among us? I think it's Harold G. Harold, if we could just together We're
I'm so
singing. I don't want to
glad.
go out on. Hold on. I don't want to go out on a limb. All together. 1, 2, 3.
Happy
birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday,
Happy
dear.
birthday, dear
Judith.
Happy birthday to you and many more. I'm general evaluator, an early report. That was the worst, most beautiful edition of happy birthday ever. Judith, happy birthday. You want to say a few words?
Thank you so much. It was an interesting rendition of happy birthday, certainly. But thank you for trying and thank you for
Okay,
acknowledging first.
Great to see you.
Are you going to bring her anything?
April stole my thunder. As you know, this is our last meeting of the year, and I just wanted to acknowledge what a great year we've had, and in this moment to thank the various board members that are here. And so with that, Vicki and I are going to do a coordinated presentation of a thank you, if you will. My first thanks goes, and this is in no particular order, but this is how you're usually shown in the Toastmasters materials. My first thank you is to April Isham, VC2 Sergeant of Arms. As a fellow member said, she is the heart of MoE. To me, she represents all that is good, decent, and kind about the club. Another member said, she reminds us of what is important. And she's developed a greeting and introduction that sets the perfect tone for our meetings. Thank you very much, April. Let's unmute and give her a round of applause. Look at that certificate.
Wow, I think I might have spelled sergeant wrong, but we'll get it.
It says Sergeant of Army.
Congratulations.
No, that's an S.
That's just beautiful.
That's just my poor font choice.
Oh, okay. I thought, a whole army.
I love it. The evaluations continue.
They've begun.
Yes. The next one is the Mr. David Ryan, DTM, secretary and immediate past president. He's had a busy life throughout his MoE career, but particularly in recent times, and he somehow made himself available. He's documented all that's transpired over the past year, including board minutes, and he's let us not forget, he's earned his DTM this year, and he could have taken the easy way out, but in his speech, he talked about how he wanted to earn it with a proper, just project that he took on. So respect to you, and I'll always be thankful for his guidance and preparation as he helped me prepare for my presidency. Mr. Ryan, thank you very much.
Thanks, John.
Feel free to unmute and to applaud if you like. You can step over. Yeah, David, he's the best. He's the best. We now move on to someone who doesn't need an introduction. Our treasurer, Vicki Trabosh, SR2. She's a founding member of MoE and is the spark, the fire, the indomitable force that created MoE. She loves this club and all of its members like one of her 4 kids, and she shows it with her tireless support of all of us. She's a shining example of how good we can be and that it takes work to obtain that status. So let's all give a warm round of applause to Vicki Trabosh.
Bravo, Vicky.
Hey, Vicki, show us the money, Vicki. Yes, we're the only treasurer. She's the only treasurer of a club that doesn't have a bank account. Yet our FICO score, I'm told, is in the 800s. I don't know how she managed.
It's being an accountant, you know how to work the books. That's all I can tell you.
Yes, Vicki, you know how to work it. He's not here, but let's still give a round of applause and acknowledgement to our VP of Public Relations, Jesper McQuindang. He's a breath of fresh air, and he brought us into the current century, as another board member says, as it relates to social media. He's created all these beautiful MoE MoE backgrounds that are specific to the role. He's just upped our game, if you will. So, and he's also a great example of someone who joins a club and gets involved with leadership. I think that's a quality that all of us would like to see in every member, to see that you're a leader and that your contributions would be valued by joining the board. So let's give a round for Jesper. Hopefully he hears this wherever he might
Great
be.
job, Jesper.
Well done.
Yes, yes.
Amazing, Jesper. Thank you. Woohoo.
All right. Shante really liked that. And speaking of Shante, our next board member is Shante Howard, LD4, VP of Membership. She stepped in the middle of this year when we lost our VP of Membership, and she did it in the middle of the year that I probably imagine was the busiest year as a Toastmaster, because she's part of the district trio. I'm becoming part of the trio. I haven't even done it, and already my life is unsettled. I haven't slept a good night since then. So much respect to that, to Shante for her contributions. She's a Canva goddess, and she's the one that provides her functionary reports with a Canva report that she prepared in the middle of the meeting. I don't know how she does that. And by the way, she has a lot of energy. So you don't need caffeine whenever Shantae's at a meeting. So let's give it up for Shante.
Yay!
Yay, Shante.
Hey.
Program Quality Direct Elect, as they say.
Woo! Yay me.
What's that?
Yay me.
Yeah, okay, good. Yay. Love yourself is what Shante always says. Okay. And last but not least, she earned her DTM this year. She released a cookbook, and she is the closest thing I know to a full-time Toastmaster. She lives and breathes and eats Toastmasters, and she's always thinking about how can Toastmasters be better, and also how can Toastmasters better serve us. Now, while she's a board member, she's always thinking about how we can tweak the agenda and how we can fit more evaluations into our agenda. You know, that's why we are MoE. Has anyone heard of SNAP evaluations? That's Sandra's creation. Let's give it up for Sandra Savage. Sandra.
Hey.
Woo! Yay, Sandra.
John, can I take this last one?
Sure, please.
You know,
Hey.
there's no one like John. John, you have led this club so well this last year with humor and kindness and sensitivity. And we owe a grand level of thanks to you for all you've done to make us so successful this year. If you want to go far, go alone. If you want to go fast, no, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And we have gone together, and you have really created something great here. And we are so excited for your new role at the deck level, at the trio level, and we're here to support you. And we just want to thank you for your leadership and everything you do to make these meetings just a joy. So round of applause for John White.
Yay.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh my God, you're gonna make me cry. Thank goodness I have a paper towel here. That was wonderful. As they say, out with the old and in with the new. It's my pleasure to introduce one of our newer members, Pamela Brode, and she will be our Toastmaster for the day. Pamela?
Wow. Thank you, John. I gotta say, the future's so bright. I gotta wear shades. Hey, everybody. Who's ready for a summertime soiree? Well, yeah, cool. Okay, so what I had planned, John totally destroyed because we sang that song so terribly together. No, it was awesome, but I have planned a little bit of a sing-along, so you might want to, jump in if you like. Did you guys know when I said a soiree, I thought it was just a party, but the actual definition of a soiree, now don't worry, this is not the word of the day or anything like that, but the actual definition of a soiree, which is my technology has moved me, but it's really
In this meeting, yeah.
Oh, because of you being there? Or is that
No.
Oh, Sorry, I was hearing a party in the back there. I think we got to mute that part of the party. A soiree is actually an evening party. So if you had your evening gowns, you were ready to go for this party. But I thought I would warm it up with a little bit of summer. There's such good summer songs, right? Everyone needs some flowers. Anyone have some flowers? We already have flowers and roses from John. And do you guys have a drink? Let's have a toast if you have a drink for a soiree. Clink your coffee cups, whatever you mimosa. There you go. I see John and Vicky. Great. Bottoms up. Cheers. I love it, everybody. The backgrounds mess it up. But thought I would try a little bit of a sing along, very short. I only have a minute here, but feel free to sing along or post in the chat who you think this is. Let's get this party started in here. You guys know that. And run. Here comes the sun. Do. Guys, everybody sing. Here comes the sun. And I say, it's all right. Do. How about this one? I got that summertime madness. Summertime and the living is easy. You get extra credit. You can put in the chat who sings it if you remember this. Or summertime, doing the summertime. We'll just sit back and unwind. Boo do. He's giving me good vibrations. He's giving me good citations. Good vibrations. And everybody loved this one. Those summer. Come on, everybody, get your John Travolta arms. Nights. Everybody sing, tell me more. Okay, one last thing. Everybody knows this one. And you can sing the last line as I sing the... Are you ready for it? Yeah? You got a good... All right. When I look back now, that summer seems to last forever. Guys, unmute yourself and sing. Ready? Sing. And if I had the choice, you know I really want to be there. Those were the best days of my life. What year was that, guys? That was the summer of?
No clue.
No clue? Ryan Adams, sing it best.
69.
Sorry, what? Say it.
1969.
That was the summer of 69. Awesome, Sandra. I knew I could count on you. All right, my quick little medley. I hope you guys are with me on that. I would love to hear your voices, but John did a great job of teaching me that. You know what? When we did the happy birthday, it was so good because I was watching your fingers. You're a great conductor. It really is the magic in the fingers. All right, so you guys ready for some swarizing? I just made a new word. Yes? All right, let's go. So let's get this party started. Right now we got our Zoom master, my friend John Graham over there. You want to jump on with us?
I'm sorry, I've just been given co-host, so I'm behind the. What would you like me to do, Pamela? I'm sorry.
Guys, this is the first time I'm going to be a Toastmaster with you.
Oh, I see. I'm just supposed to describe my role. Okay.
Oh, yes. Thank you, John. If you want to tell us what you're going to be doing, Mr. Master of the Zoom.
Well, I think I have two roles here. I just got co-host, so I'm going to start highlighting people during the course of the meeting at appropriate moments. And I will also be in for table topics, which I'm kind of trying to radically develop here in the background. And so I'll be doing both roles today, Pamela. And back to you. Thank you.
Awesome. Nice. That's so funny. Patty had said in the chat, I saw that they only let her sing in the church. So I got to tell you, all the best singers come out of the church, you know, they all, that's a good place to get started. So we want to hear you. Wonderful. Well, thank you, John. Back to our amazing John, back to the other John. And as our general evaluator, you set us up with such a wonderful beginning of our meeting. Would you introduce your role for the meeting?
I would love to. I'm taking John Graham's example of multitasking. Yes, men can do it. I will be the general evaluator. After the prepared speeches and evaluations, I will introduce the evaluation team. We will have functionary reports to show us how we did. And then I will provide an overview of how I thought the meeting went, things we did well. And as Vicky likes to say, there's always areas for improvement. So I might touch on one or two. So you hear mostly from me in the mid to late part of the meeting. Madam Toastmaster.
Awesome. Sounds like a wonderful soiree with you involved. And we've got our word of the day and grammarian, our joy bringer and wonderful friend, the lovely Shantae Howard. What you got for us, Shantae?
Was the summer of 69. I got you, Pamela. I got your back.
You got it.
I am Shantae. I get the plum-pleasing pleasure of being your word grammarian today. It is my responsibility today to, one, make note of all of the great usages of the English language and the not so great ones, but also I get to introduce the word of the day. So the word of the day today is Zephyrian, if I can pronounce it. Zephyrian is the word of the day. The definition is of the character of resembling or suggesting a light breeze. Used in a sentence, I so enjoy the summers because of the Zephyrian weather. So please use the word Zephyrian in a sentence. I will put it phonetically in the chat as well so that we can say it properly. And I will make note. And as John did suggest earlier, I may surprise for you at the end of the meeting since it is our last meeting of the year. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Wonderful. What a perfect word, because you really are a Zephyrian. Absolutely. That is perfect word for you. Getting to know you, you walk into a room and you are the essence of a Zephyrian. So I hope we all that's amazing. We're going to get so much smarter. Are you guys ready, guests, everybody? All of it. We're going to get smarter just by including that word for the day. So we have our wonderful, amazing Sandra Savage. You are going to be our timer.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I will be timing everybody with my Zephyrian voice today. When you are at your minimum amount of time, I'll flash the green. At the optimum, I'll flash yellow. And when it's time to whoosh, I'll flash the red. And I think I have everybody's time, but if you are a speaker, please send me your time in the chat so that I make sure I don't goof up. Thank you, Pamela.
Awesome. Beautiful. Just came in there like another Zephyrian. And we have something super fun today. I haven't experienced this yet. We're going to have an interview by the amazing and wonderful, we're also grateful for Vicky. Do you like to share what you're going to be up to today?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. I'm okay. I am introducing to the club the Zephyrus Sheila LaChance. She has joined us a number of times and finally relented and joined the club. And we said, hallelujah, Sheila. And today I have the honor of introducing her.
Amazing. Awesome.
You want me to go?
Awesome. All right. Well, let's, like a Zephyrian, we throw it right to you, Vicky. Let's get this party started.
Thank you and welcome, Sheila. Really, we were thrilled. You have shown up so many times, and I would just look at you in one of the little squares, one of the little squares, and think, I want to know this woman better. So it's my great honor today to ask you a number of questions while we have, Sandra, would you raise your hand and get in the upper left-hand corner, please? So I can see you for timing. We only have 5 minutes. So I'd like to say, first, how long have you been a Toastmaster?
How long have I been a Toastmaster? Since 2003.
And what other clubs are you a member of?
Beachtown Toastmasters, and I'm in a writers group here at Beachtown at the beach at the
And
Writers
you're
Club.
in Cannon Beach, Oregon?
No, I am in Lincoln City.
Lincoln City, Oregon. So it's on the coast, everybody, if you want to know where it is. And obviously I don't, and I should know because I wrote her a letter. Okie dokie. So with all the Toastmasters clubs in the world you could choose from, why did you choose MoE?
Well, that's funny. MoE, I thought was just Mo. I didn't know it was Masters of Evaluation. So I thought you were part of the Three Stooges. Seriously.
Well, there's that.
But then I figured out it was Masters of Evaluation. I was very pleased with that for a couple of reasons. There are two major goals in my life. One is to glorify God, and the second one is to have other people reach their highest potential. So your motto at Masters of Evaluation, evaluate to elevate, fit that goal to a T.
Mm.
And then I'm also reminded of my late husband's saying that fits the goal of Masters of Evaluation. He wrote, quote, "What you do for others, not what they do for you, is the only immortality."
Oh, that's beautiful.
And I'm also reminded of past American President John F. Kennedy. I give a nod to him, and I'll change a noun in this sentence, so listen carefully. Ask not what your club can do for you, but what you can do for your club.
We could add that to our website, actually, Sheila, which would not be a bad deal. So you're in Oregon. How long have you lived there?
About 6 months.
Okay.
Oh,
so
at the coast, yes.
Yeah, where did you come from?
Portland.
Okay. So I heard some exciting news that 3 years ago you met a gentleman on Zoom at Toastmasters. Tell us about it.
Okay. Okay. Well, we met on Zoom at Toastmasters. You're correct. We got engaged on Zoom at Toastmasters. And so we decided to get married at Toastmasters on Zoom. And this was also a hybrid meeting at Beachtown Toastmasters here in Lincoln City.
What was that like?
It was different. It was different. It was a ceremony, not a wedding. So there were 32 people online and roughly 15 people live.
Oh, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
So is he a Toastmaster as well?
Yes, he is.
And what is his name?
Joe Malakovic, also known as Hollywood Joe. He's here.
Get out!
Wave, Joe.
You know, we had another Joe Hollywood. Look at you go. We had another couple that came out of Toastmasters, and I had no idea they were together. This stuff goes right over my head. So, yeah. Joe, welcome to our club meeting today. We're really thrilled to have you here with your lovely bride. And so, how long have you been married?
What day is it? Almost 2 months. 2 months, almost.
Oh, that's wonderful. So I asked you for some questions, and you asked me a really intriguing question that I want to ask you back. What would you like to do for the club that would be addictive?
Okay.
So that's a really interesting question, because addictive is an interesting word. So what did you mean by that, and what would you like?
I actually said additive.
You did? And so this is what happens when a 67-year-old reads and go, why would you want to do something
addictive, additive, you know. That's okay,
let's
Victoria.
go back to what you meant, which is additive. What would you like to do for the club?
Okay, you might guess I want to provide evaluations, but I want to provide specific evaluations. And what I mean by that is before I say anything at all about a speaker, is I want to make changes. I want to be specific about how those changes and what those changes could be. I just don't want to say, you could change this or you could be more vocal. Well, show me how. I'm going to be able to show that person how. And evaluations are not just for the speaker, they're for the whole audience. And another thing I look for is what is additive or addictive to the audience as a whole. So even though I might have
a paddle of shame.
So as a whole, what would apply to the audience as a whole when I decide what to bring out in an evaluation?
Are you a professional speaker?
No.
But you have led.
Yes and no. I didn't get paid for it. I ran a women's workshop for 4 years, but I didn't get paid for it. So is that professional or not? I was an entrepreneur. I created the workshop. So there you go.
Everyone who thinks it's professional, please raise your right hand.
Thank you.
Sheila, for goodness sake. It's funny getting paid to do stuff. I get nervous when I get paid, which is ridiculous, but we want to bring a certain level of success. And I'm so glad you're part of our club. Now, we're kind of wrapping up here. So you've gotten to know Sandra Savage really well. And she said, oh my God, we got to get her as a member of this club. So good job, Sandra. And I don't usually envy anyone. I don't put people on pedestals. I don't envy people. But then she said, you had an AGA stove. And I fangirled you. I actually stalked you. I looked up your house and I looked at pictures of it. Will you please explain this amazing stove you have?
It's an August stove, and when I first looked at it, I scratched my head. I had no idea what it does or what it was or why it was even here in the home. My realtor didn't have any idea what it was or why it was here in the home. Joe didn't know why it was here or in the home. And it was Sandra Savage that inspired us to really look into this seriously, because she said if we don't, she's going to carry that August stove on her back to Boise herself. Joe ended up learning about the stove, and he loves the stove. He would not know how to live without it, and it hasn't left his side. He is the cook in the family. So thank you, Sandra, and thank you, Victoria, for asking about the stove. It's as big as a couch. So those of you that don't know, it's as big as a couch and as expensive as a brand new car.
So I think, you don't live far. If I show up at your door, don't hold it against me. And okay, you're a good Toastmaster. In the 20 seconds you have left, how would you like to end this?
Oh, that's a tricky one. I would say I would like to end this by saying that I just learned something new, that the SNAP evaluations were a Sandra invention. And I'm fangirling Sandra, I know, all over the place, but I had no idea. And that is the one thing that stands out in this club that drew me in, is the SNAP evaluations. Why? Because after I do a SNAP evaluation, it's like my brain just snapped into gear. And I even have what I call an evaluation buzz after the meeting, after doing a SNAP evaluation. So that is so additive in my mind. And I thank you for that. And I hope they continue.
Well, thank you. And you have definitely created a buzz today for us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sheila. I turn the meeting back over to our Toastmaster.
Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you.
Thank you. How beautiful are you guys? And, so nice to get to know Sheila a little bit more. I'm sure we all feel that same way. And I'm not just saying it to use the word. He really is a Zifrian. You guys are both just, a breeze, a fresh air. And I got to say, I think it's fantastic to be fangirling all over each other. I know I'm fangirling all over so many of you here and getting to know you. So it's good that we all come together and are each other's fans. We need that in the world. So great to have you. I'm going to call for a 90-second moment of silence so we can evaluate. Sandra, are you keeping the timer on the 90-second? Okay, great. So great, 90 seconds for time for evaluation. All right. Wonderful. And it is time for to throw it to this. One of the greatest things about this meeting, aside from the quality of character of everybody, is that we can come together from all over the world. So I want to throw it to our friend Ray Sweeney over there across. That's for you. Yes, Ray. Going to be, am I wrong?
Yeah, you're wrong. It's speaker 2.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wrote that down. Okay. I see. Okay. Evaluator for speaker 2, the lovely birthday girl, Judith. Let's come on. Let's see you here. You ready? You want to introduce our speaker 2? The evaluator.
Alrighty. So here we are. Where are we? So Trudy's speech is titled Being the Citizen of the World. It is writing a speech with a purpose. The purpose of this project is to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topics. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Wonderful. Do you want to introduce Trudy?
Yeah, you are introducing her.
Oh, I am introducing Trudy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Can I have a lifeline? I had trouble with my internet as far as the intro.
Let's see where we are here.
Well, let's do it competition style. Let's introduce Trudy with her speech, Citizen of the World. Trudy, Citizen of the World.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster and timers Sandra Savage, who introduced me, Citizen of the World. As you said, Toastmaster of the Day, coming together from all over the world, makes it a really good introduction to the really headline of my speech, Citizen of the World. I am a citizen of the world. I chose to be a citizen of the world because what I did, I traveled to Canada and immigrated here to live, coming from a really tiny island, Aruba. In Aruba, I worked for a number of years after I studied and decided eventually to move up into Canada and move into the world. Why Canada? Well, I choose Canada because it's an English-speaking place and my parents are from an English-speaking place. I had a fairly good command of the language and I come from a multinational and multicultural and multilingual environment. Thus, I believe coming to live in Canada would be really good for me. Being a citizen of the world is very important to interpret in my mind. What do I mean by that? I mean, I will be very comfortable wherever I live in this world. And for me, Canada is a place where I can feel comfortable, and I do feel very comfortable living in Canada. Why do I feel very comfortable living in Canada? Because the environment where I come from is multicultural. And when I came to Canada, at the time when I immigrated to Canada, many people from all parts of the world were coming in to live here. As the Toastmaster said, just before she started trying to find to introduce me, she said, MoE is people coming together from all parts of the world and feeling comfortable and growing together. That's exactly how I feel. It's an intercultural community. I met so many people from all walks of life, and I grow. I expanded my knowledge. I became more, must say, gently tolerant, because it's some people I didn't understand if they were speaking Chinese or a different language, which is not part of my package. And it brought more comfort to me to know that we together from so many parts of the world can live in this country harmoniously together. And it is true, because when people came to this country, a lot were skilled people and a lot were not skilled people. One of the reasons I came, I was a skilled person, educated, and I wanted to learn more. And I went on to university and I also worked as a professional. So I gained more knowledge, were able to travel very easily, comfortably in this country. Same goes for many others. We also share a lot in common, because when you come from abroad to live here, you must make friends. You cannot be the enemy of each other. You have to make friends. So you come together as a family. What is a beautiful word that summed up? Cyprian. So you feel very comfortable together. It's just part of it. So in doing so, I learned many things that we can do together in the early days. I ended up in Toronto. Do you know that Toronto was a big village instead of the city it is today? It was a huge, huge village. You wouldn't believe that. Now we're talking about metropolitan Toronto. It wasn't a metropolitan. It was a tiny place where people come together, congregated, and living together and getting together, eating together, doing things together. Like I was a runner. I used to run. I was a walker. We used to hike. I used to camp. And we did it with many different groups of people, learning the food, the habits. And that's how I learned about Canada. And that's why it was easy for me to say when I went back the very first time I went back to Aruba, my mom said, if you don't like it, you can't come back. Do not give up your job. I kept my job, and just in case I wanted to go back, I went back to Aruba and I said, guess what? I'm not coming back to live. I would stay in Canada. I would make this country my place where I would live. But I promise you one thing, I'll go back home every year. And I did to this point. I go back home every year to visit my homeland. And I now living in a different part of Canada, which is called New Brunswick. Again, there I made it my home. I become a citizen of this world, a global citizen, because even here, people are migrating to this part of the world and they are making it their home. You feel as though you're learning interculturally from so many different people. There's a thing called racism. Yes, those things do exist, and not liking other people. For me, it doesn't make a difference. I came here with an open mind to be able to live, be comfortable, and learn from people and to love each other as I love myself. Of course, you encounter things that doesn't make you feel great, but you can overcome it because you have learned from others how to live satisfactorily within the community where you live. In doing so, I also married a Canadian, and he introduced me into the Canadian way of life. And Canadian way of life is something depending where you live. For instance, I live in New Brunswick, or you live in Newfoundland. People come from the old country and made this place like the old country. I live in Toronto, where I've experienced multiculturalism. Now I'm living here, more of this is evolving. So I would say to very young people, or even middle-aged people who decide to come here, I'm now a middle-aged woman. Do I look like one? But this country kept me young because I kept an open mind. And I would say, step up to the plate, do what you like. And if you want to be a citizen of the world, be it, because you'll always, always learn and be happy. And you make yourself happy by being with other people. Give of yourself, and other people will give back to you. Back to you, Madame Toastmaster. That's my message.
Thank you, Trudy. So beautiful. All right, I'm going to call for 90 minutes for evaluation. Lovely Sandra. Thank you, Sandra. Wonderful. I feel like it's a soiree, you know, when you have a party and the food doesn't come, but I got my agenda going now. So thank you very much for bearing with me. So wonderful. It is time for our speaker speaker 3. We ready? Now we're going to go into our international buddy over there, Mr. Ray Sweeney. If you would take the reins with this party.
Thank you, Pamela. Madam Toastmaster, this evening I'll certainly take the reins from you now and can carry on with the intro. So allow me to introduce our Zephyrian Toastmaster this evening, whose progress really this year has been a standout for this club. She hails from Ukraine, which is the Ukraine, and this evening she's going to be giving a speech from the Innovative Planning Level 2, the last speech to finish this level. Its title is Learning Mentorship from Literary Characters. The objectives are to inform, to entertain, and inspire. Ladies and gentlemen, to the stage, Tamara Evans, Learning Mentorship from Literary Characters.
If somebody asks you, what are mentors for? What will you say? I'm sure the answers will vary, but you will probably all agree that we need and appreciate guidance to help us navigate an unknown terrain. And mentors are the compass that can lead us to success, providing direction, clarity, and inspiration when we need it most. Are you looking for a mentor? Why not ask the Cheshire Cat? Wise, compassionate, and learned, and a humorist at that. Besides, the Cheshire Cat is a very caring creature. When he needs to depart from the tree he usually sits in, he leaves his smile hanging on a branch to amuse and encourage the passers-by. As he does it, he probably recites in his mind the slightly altered verse by Emily Dickinson. They might not need me, but they might. I'll let my smile be just in sight. A smile as big as mine might be precisely their necessity. In the book Alice in Wonderland, we can find interesting and unusual examples of mentorship. Alice, wandering in an unknown place, honestly admits that she would like to have a mentor when she sincerely shares her problem. I give myself very good advice, but I very seldom follow it. Doesn't that imply she would like someone else to counsel her? Not knowing where she was, Alice asks the Cheshire Cat, "What road do I take?" Had she asked this question to Dr. Seuss, he would probably answer, "You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose." But the kind and caring Cheshire Cat inquires in his turn, "Where do you want to go?" He subtly guides the girl with a question, teaching her to think, not what to think, but how to think and how to set goals. As a wise mentor, the cat tries to cultivate in Alice reflective thinking and asks questions that help expand and deepen her learning. Good mentors have good ears. The heart of good mentoring is listening. The best kind of mentor listens with empathy and knows how to redirect worries and emotions positively. A wise Cheshire Cat listens to Alice's story and gives the girl a humorous but valuable insight into strategies for learning from mistakes. He says, "Somehow you strayed and lost your way, and now there will be no time to play, no time for joy, no time for friends, not even time to make amends." He believes that Alice will eventually find her true identity and is gently suggesting that she should try new strategies and still be herself. He encourages Alice and gives her hope, saying, "Not all who wander are lost." In the famous French novella by Saint-Exupéry, the fox wants to be tamed by the little prince before the two of them start playing together. "When we spend time together, we establish ties. If you tame me, we will need each other. I will become unique to you, and you will become unique to me." As the mentor and the mentee spend time together, a closer bond forms between them. They tame each other. using give and take, and start needing each other. Mentorship is an improvisation where both mentor and mentee contribute and both benefit from the interaction. Mentorship is a service. The mentor is focused on bringing out some skills the mentee already has and mentors Zephyrian counsel serves just as a reminder. Mentorship also has a ripple effect. When my experienced mentor gives me a valuable tip, I feel a sense of duty to pass it on and teach others and become myself a mentor to another person. Becoming a mentor for someone else is the best expression of gratitude to your mentor. Now let's briefly summarize the main things you will expect a good mentor to do. Listen with empathy, suggest strategies for learning from mistakes, redirect worries and emotions positively, encourage and give hope, help discover the skills and qualities mentee already has, and inspire mentee to become a mentor for another person. When you find a good mentor, wise, compassionate, and clever, tame each other, be creative, and your life will change forever. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Tamara. That was so beautiful, so brilliant. And the Cheshire Cat, love that imagery. We're going to take 90 minutes now for notes for the speaker. Any new people, if you don't know, you can go ahead and put it in the chat for them, give them notes if you like, or send it to them privately, whenever you like. 90 minutes on the clock. My dear friend, Sandra.
90 seconds.
Sorry, 90 seconds. That would be a long lot of evaluation for you. I don't think you have that much to, we have that much
Mara would never come back if we gave her 90 minutes of that feedback.
90 seconds. Wonderful. All right. And Tamara, we learned so much from you and your amazing knowledge and imagery. Thank you so much. And I'd like to, you know, when you go to a party and you don't know anybody, well, just a few months ago when I came to this party, I didn't know anybody, but I want to say that, you know, one of the best things when you don't know anybody at a party is when somebody new comes up to you and says, hey, I want to get to know you. Welcome to the group. And that was so special. Sandra did that for me. So Sandra, I want to hand it to you on the timers report and just say, you know, thank you for being that to so many of us. And you're a great addition to any soiree.
Thank you very much. Let me give you a quick report of our 3 speeches. The first one was from Vicky and Sheila with their interview, which was awesome, by the way. And who cares that it went 8 minutes? I would have liked to have gone much longer. Then for our speech from our world citizen, Trudy, it was 6 minutes and 45 seconds, and the most amazing mentoring speech I've ever heard from Tamara at 7 minutes and 15 seconds. Back to you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, we're going to go headed to our friend John Graham with table topics and snap evaluations. John, are you ready to kick this party to a new level? Oh, we can't hear you, buddy. You're still on mute.
I don't know if I'm ready or not, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm both Zooming and tabletopping at the same time. So first of all, I have first question. These are all questions about summer soirees and summer experiences. That's our theme today. So my first question is, what's your favorite memory from a summer soiree you've attended? And I'm going to ask April.
So many soirees, John, so many. And choosing one to speak of is causing me a little racking of nerves because I don't think I better talk about that one. I love summer. I spent the summer living close to the beach in Southern California. And when the red tide would come in, it was plankton in the ocean waters. And at night, as a teenager, to go with a ton of pals into that warm water and splash around, and it would be phosphorescent so that you could see your body and your arms move, and they would glow. And I tell you, this is only a summer kind of a thing. It smelled to high heaven, but who cared? It was spectacular, a real life magical experience. Talk about your soiree. This was the deal. Going swimming at the red tide and seeing yourself and others glow. Back to you. Thank you.
Great, April. Hey, and for a snap evaluation, I'd like to call up Baku.
Hi, how are you? Thank you. Appreciate it, April. Your summer soiree, it reminded me of myself when I was growing up in the south side of Chicago. We would go to the beach and, enjoy the water and the swimming. Such a beautiful and family time. I appreciate you being able to communicate such a visual of the glow in the dark in regards to, the enjoyment and just being able to capitalize on that summer weather here in Southern California. Thank you so much for your evaluation, for your tabletop.
Okay, well, the next question I'd like to ask, if you could host a dream summer soiree anywhere in the world, where would it be and why? David.
Would host a soiree anywhere in the world? I don't have a specific place, but I can describe the place. So it's a patio, like a deck out on the beach, a little bit like the background Pamela or Ray's Zephyrus background. The wind is blowing through the palm trees. I've got a barbecue going with some delicious food, friends all gathered around a campfire and drinking mojitos, some Beach Boys music playing in the background, maybe good vibrations. Oh man, I could just go on. I feel like actually just logging off the call right now and going out and going to the beach here because it's clearing up and it's looking like it's a nice evening for a soiree. So I think that's where I'm going to go this evening, down to the beach. There's a really nice place. It's very like that, just a couple of miles away. So that's where I'm going to be this evening. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster, Toastmaster.
Okay, and I think I'd like to call on Harold to give us a snap evaluation.
Fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests. I admire David for addressing that question in the calm, confident manner in which he did. I say that because I would have been stumped. I like the descriptive words he used in describing the location. While he didn't give a name, he gave a nice description of a place that sounded so pleasant, so inviting, you would want to be there. David speaks with a nice, calm voice. The tone of the voice quality is all inviting and very satisfying. The story, I thought, was he didn't mention how many people he wanted there, but he did emphasize the location. While I didn't hear anything about the food, the drinks, anything like that, laughter, but he emphasized how he would have enjoyed it. I enjoyed the way he addressed it quickly and had a nice beginning and an end. Mr. Tabletop Minister.
Thank you, Harold. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I'm going to give that one to Sheila. Sheila, what's the best reason summer gives you to laugh?
Thank you so much. I live here at the Oregon coast, and we have deer in people's backyards, and we have deer running on the streets. And one of the neighbors said, I'm going to open this gate because I think the deer are caught up in this gate, so I'm going to open the gate. And I laughed. I said, Ann, these deer jump gates. I mean, tall gates. Nobody can grow a garden here because you'll be feeding them breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So no opening of the gates for the deer. It's not necessary, and they're going to take care of themselves, and they do. So that gave me a good laugh because even though she's lived here way longer than I have, she didn't realize that deer leap because I've witnessed them leaping over our gate from the backyard when the dog scared them away. So anyway, that gave me a chuckle for the summer.
Okay. And I'd like to call up Jason. Are you available there?
Yes.
Can you put your video on?
I do have it on. It says I have it on.
You can see you
Let
now.
me. There we go. Okay, good. Jason, could you give your response, please? Your snap evaluation for Sheila.
Deer? You know what? That would give me a laugh to see deer. Because the idea of something happening around your environment that you're not expecting, that's what creates the fun. And that's what summer is all about, creating things that are unexpectedly happening to us that can just make us sit back and laugh. And you expressed that so thoroughly in your description. My only one suggestion I would say of a takeaway that you maybe try to practice is your reactions. So let's say when you talked about the deer jumping over, if you reacted to it, the deer jumped over, that would have even drawn us in more as the kind of laughter that it gave you as an experience. And we would even laugh more when you were expressing your feelings in that fashion. But you did a wonderful job. Hopefully all of us could go and be able to have that experience with you, because that would make a great summer. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Jason. And thank you, Sheila. Next question. What's your go-to summer party dish and what makes it special? How about John?
I'm the only John.
Well, you're the other John. So you
No,
get the
that's
question.
right. Excuse me. The second John. Okay. The first one's asking. I have not been known as a cook over the years. And there was no shame. I just was a statement of fact. And then in recent times, I've come to realize that food is for your sustenance, but food is also a sign of caring and love. And so while I could buy something at Gelson's and put it in a Tupperware or present it as my own, people know that that's not. So I have done two things. One, I come with, what are they called? Kentucky Mules. It's an alcoholic drink. It's not a Moscow Mule. That's with vodka. I do it with bourbon. So basically, I come with the libations. And I've developed a dish, deviled eggs. I know it's simple, but it's one of those things when you get it right. I'm not saying I'm on to potato salad level, but I went to a barbecue and I presented my deviled eggs, and I got a look of when someone eats something and they like it, they're like, like what'd you put in this? And this was before they had my Kentucky Mule, so it wasn't the alcohol speaking. It was one of my finest moments, and it's caused me to have more interest in cooking for myself and for others. So I guess what I'm saying is I started with the devil, and I'm moving on to more angelic endeavors. Thank you for asking.
Thank you, John. That was great. Hey, Judith, how would you like to take on that question as a snap evaluation?
I couldn't move on from the deviled eggs. So I am still thinking about, I make wonderful deviled eggs and I have been doing it for years. Now I have a little bit of a problem of the Kentucky, the bourbon, because I don't really understand and I am not familiar with the phrase, but John's response is always really funny. And yes, why not put something on the grill that it's your own? I mean, you can say, I have these cows somewhere out there. They cut this beef for me. Well, what's wrong with that? There's nothing really wrong. I think this is a perfectly good, unless you're a vegetarian, that's a problem, or some other issues show up there. But anyway, thank you for you. This was really fun. And good luck. I'm glad that you make good deviled eggs. It's a wonderful food, actually, I think. Thank you for your speech.
Thank you, Judith, and thank you, John. Wonderful. Next question here. Describe an ideal summer evening with friends and family. That soiree that we're always talking about. What activities would you include? And Mary, are you available to take a question? Can you put your video on?
Yes,
oh, there it is. Good. Okay.
Yes. My summer evening would be with family and friends. During the summer months, my family usually has a family get together. And being from a large family, we are located in different states and even the Bahamas. So the location probably would be at my brother's place in Falmouth, near Hyannisport in Massachusetts, close to the ocean and also indulging in various cuisines that the area has, especially the quahogs, the clams made a special way, interacting with family and friends, and just being together once a year, having a great time, which we are planning this year after not being together in person for a number of years due to the pandemic. And back to you, Mr. Tabletop Master.
Thank you, Mary. And Maori, would you be available to do an snap evaluation? Maori, would you be available to do a snap evaluation of Mary's response?
Yes. I am available, but this is, can you hear me? Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm having trouble with my internet. I don't know what's going on, but I relate to Mary Prayer on this because those family reunions are the best, and I'm missing them. And I can say that we get together, hug each other, laugh. This is a really wonderful soiree. I haven't done mine in 12 years. Last time it was in Venezuela. And in Venezuela is a summer year-round. So I relate to the party where we get together, hug each other, put a lot of food out there, and chit-chat, laugh, cry, because we also cry. And when family get together, we can say many things that we haven't said in long time. And seeing the change of the people. My mom, she says, oh, look at how old she looks. And I said, don't say that because they are looking at me and probably I'm looking that old or older. But it's fun to have soirees with the family, and that is a Zephirian time in life. Indulge yourself with your family in summertime. I have to do it here in Indianapolis. Back to you.
Thank you, Maori. I've been informed I'm overdue here, so I'm gonna put back to you, Pamela.
Wonderful. How fun was that? Thank you so much, John. Really lovely. And with that, we are going to send it back to our timers report with Miss Sandra.
Okay, I put the time in the chat because of my voice, but everybody did a great job, and I just was off on my own little summer vacation there myself, a few of these, but everybody's time is in the chat, and I'll turn it back over to you, Pamela.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sandra. And thank you guys for letting me be my first, popping my cherry for my first, my first time being your Toastmaster. And I want to head it back to the amazing John, and so delightful. Thank you for being such an incredible president. On your way back to you, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you for those closing comments. Okay, we are now moving on to the evaluation portion. We're running a bit late. We're all grown-ups. We know the timing for the evaluation. So it's my pleasure to turn it over to the birthday girl, the distinguished Toastmaster, Judith Ferber, who will be evaluating Trudy's speech. There are no evaluations for Victoria's speech because it was an interview, in case you're wondering. So with that, Judith.
Okay, thank you very much. Trudy, the first word that came to mind as you speak is serendipity. I had a long conversation with a friend of mine last night, how important it is to have multicultural families, and how the world would be a better place if families would have all kinds of other cultures involved in being family. And here you were talking about being a citizen of the world. Well, I think most of us are the citizen of the world, whether we know it or not, because we live in a multicultural world. So it's just difficult not to. So your speech was certainly, you spoke about how you traveled from Aruba and describing a multicultural, multilingual experience that you had. And then ultimately you end up in Canada. I have been in Toronto many, many times. It's a fantastic city. It's a lot of Hungarians live there, and one of the main reasons I actually got there originally. And it's a fabulous city. And then you live in Brunswick. So to make this speech for me a little bit more complete is, what is specifically that you learned when you moved from Aruba to Canada? Because Canada is a multicultural world, but it still is a foreign world. I came from Hungary into a multicultural world when I came to the United States, and I had a hard time for many years with many different aspects of this country to be part of this multicultural world, because I did not come from a multicultural world. So I would have liked to have something. What stood out for you? What was so foreign? What is it that you learned? Was the food? What the cultural events? And what it is that was foreign to you, but now you embraced it full-heartedly because you learned something about whatever it was that became part of your experience. And how long it take? Was it really hard? You did marry a Canadian. Your husband is Canadian, and that certainly, I am sure, helped you be part of another culture. But when we're talking about a culture, I would like to know some real specifics here and there, what it is that you struggled with. Did you choose your profession in Canada? Did you come from Aruba to Canada? Already had your profession, or you learned there, and how that was influenced by the culture that you lived in. So I would have liked to have something of that nature to included in this being a citizen of the world, because being a citizen of the world is a very multi-leveled experience, which I certainly can relate to it very well. And yeah, so thank you so much. It was really just fantastic. I certainly completely agree how important it is to embrace other cultures in our life. It would be maybe, who knows, maybe we would be a happier or less confrontational world, but we could try. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you for that, Judith. She's not getting older. She's getting better as a human being and as an evaluator. Have you seen how our evaluations improved over this year? So we now move on to our our second evaluator, the third speech. You know what I'm trying to say. He's a coach. I'm sure he has benefited from a mentor, but I wonder if he's heard such mentor words before. Ray, can we hear your evaluation, please?
Thank you, John. Tamara, did we join you through the looking glass this evening? Aha, we had connection, we had clarity, and we had inspiration. The story of the Cheshire Cat and your smile and the demonstration of it was fantastic for all of us to see. You took us to Alice in Wonderland with your voices, and your voices draw us in like a storyteller draws us in around a warm fire. I'm going to tell you what I loved about your speech. Firstly, I loved your pronunciation. I know how hard you've worked on that. The creativity and the well-rehearsed and researched information that you gave us all aligned with your core message. I loved your storytelling and the use of Dr. Zeus and the animation and the characters that you brought to life. From our childhoods, we can all relate to that. I also love the way you use the story as metaphors to emphasize your points. And metaphors are a great way for us to understand. So how do we take a good speech and elevate it to even higher heights? Well, allow me, if I may be so bold, a little bit of housekeeping to start with. Perhaps it was the sound quality I was having to lean in to really hear. Maybe it was the microphone. This might be worth doing a sound check just before you hit the stage, before the meeting starts. I'm not sure if it was just me. It could have been me. It could have been the whole audience. Notes. If you're going to use notes, try and keep them at that eye level. So we're looking straight down at the audience. If you can, position your notes at eye level. Secondly, the power of a pause. Pick that moment in the speech, that pivotal moment, and pause to reflect, not for effect. You brought sunshine and stories and smiles to our summer meeting. And in summary, you held the stage with no movement that we've seen before. I love the way you tied it to mentorship. You summarized it. You gave us key takeaways and a call to action. And you explained how the results, how it will change your life. Again, I want to finish by saying, in my opinion, you are the most improved member this year, and I applaud you to keep going. Toastmaster, back to you.
Excellent job in dusting off an award that I didn't know existed. Well done. Now we all want to vie for 24-25's version of that. Now time for some functionary reports. It's my pleasure to turn it over to Shantae Howard. Word of the day, word grammarian. Shantae?
Thank you. If I could get screen share, that would be absolutely great. Thank you. But while we're waiting on that, could everybody please unmute? I'll give you 3 seconds to unmute. And on the count of 3, I would like everybody to say Zephyrian. I couldn't even say it. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Zephyrian.
Awesome. I love it. Everybody today used the word of the day. So in addition to everybody using the word of the day, you guys see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So in addition to all of us saying it one time, Pamela said it an additional 4 times. Vicky said it an additional 1. David said it an additional 2. Trudy said it an additional 1. And Ray said it an additional 1 time. If I missed you, blame my head, not my heart. I was trying to listen and be proactive. Today, I observed a lot of great things. There were no misuses of grammar today. I did note that there were a lot of great uses of pause today. So thank you all. And there were great usages of vocal variety, which were also mentioned in the evaluation. So great job today, everybody. quotes that I liked. I really liked when Sheila gave us the quote, what you do for others, not what they do for you, is the only immortality. The other quote that I liked is when Trudy said, step up to the plate and be a citizen of the world. I thought that was great. Another quote that I liked, which came with great vocal variety. I give myself very good advice, but I very rarely follow it. It's probably because that probably resonated with me most. And then I liked the quote that Jason said, summer is about creating things that are unexpected. All right, quiz time. I know we're short on time, so we're going to go very quickly. Unmute and answer the following questions. Who thought MoE was a Three Stooges club?
Sheila.
That was Sheila. Who moved from Aruba?
Judy.
Me. Who is married to Sheila LaChance?
Hollywood Joe.
Hollywood Joe. That is true. Who grew up on the south side of Chicago?
Baku.
Yep, he did mention it in his evaluation. Who is logging off and going to the beach?
David.
David is, and I think I need to join him because it's a great day for that. Who is a master chef of deviled eggs?
Who knew?
John.
Who said not all wanderers are lost?
Tamara.
Yep, it was Tamara. Yep.
She said it twice.
She said, clearly, because I must have really, really liked that. Who said food is a sign of caring and love?
John White.
John White quote. Thank you so much, you guys, for listening. I appreciate each and every one of you. And that is my last grammarian report for the 23-24 year. So back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Great. Thank you very much. We are running late, so we're going to truncate things. Sandra's just going to put the timing of our evaluations in the chat. Pamela, you've said enough, and what a wonderful job as Toastmaster. Let me just offer a few comments on the meeting, and then we'll hear from the guests. This was a wonderful year-end meeting. It was full of spirit and fun and loving, and it got a little out of control as far as the timing, but it reminds me why I've been MoE since the very start. Areas for improvement. We could all get here a little earlier. We could all know our role, and for a continuing primer on the Toastmaster and the evaluator handoff. The Toastmaster introduces the evaluator who talks about specific areas that the speaker is looking for feedback, gives it back to the Toastmaster who has the introduction. So that's what we are doing. Thank you for the sing-along. We saw how hard it was to sing along to Happy Birthday. So Pamela comes up here with her Broadway voice, singing songs that we know about, but we don't know the lyrics. Girl, no one was going to jump in and try to sing along with you. You should just own that wasn't going to happen, okay? So just say, notice me, here's my voice. Or provide the bouncing dot with the lyrics. There's only two people who knew it was the summer of '69 is what I'm trying to say. Finally, there's always something that just reminds me of the power of MoE. This was the body language and the gestures. Jason, when he gave that feedback about the deer, and be just surprised. And April showed it when she was asked her question, the table topic. Did you see her face and all that was possible and all that she did when she was a naughty girl back in the day? Did you see that facial expression? She was dressed in white like an angel, but hadn't lived an angelic life. Then she introduced her with red platinum. It was a master class on the power of what was not said, but indicated. Just a great, great meeting. At this point, I want to hear from the guests. And before we say guest, because she's a member, can we all unmute and welcome back Mary Pryor? My goodness, it's been so long to see you, Mary. I know family and life has called you, and that's why we've been missing you, but it's so good to see you. Mary, can you say hi again?
Hello, everyone, and thank you for your warm welcome, John. I love you all.
Yeah, we love you too. Thank you so much. It's great to see you. We're going to the guests. This is going to be a snap response. Where are the guests? Did Hollywood leave? Hollywood. Congratulations on one of the best decisions you ever made. I'm not talking about joining this meeting. I'm talking about Sheila LaChance. But what do you have to say about this meeting, sir?
Well, it's a little more background on me. I'm actually from the far north suburbs of Chicago before I moved to Oregon to meet Sheila. And as I'm looking out the window now, I've changed my background. That's a live feed out the window. So it's definitely going to be a Zephyrian day as I look at that tree branch. And it'll be a very Zephyrian run on the beach after this meeting. And
Oh
it's
my
great to be
goodness.
here and see everyone.
Are you a guest of a recent member who used the word of the day, which was one of the hardest words of the day? It started with the Z. She went through the whole the whole damn dictionary to get that one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm impressed. We are accepting memberships, is what I'm saying. We don't mind if you're married. Patty, Pick, Franca, what did you think of the meeting?
Oh my gosh, you pronounced my name correctly.
It's the first and last time, probably. What do you think?
That's wonderful. I just have to say that the energy, enthusiasm, positivity of this meeting, this group, these people are just so amazing. It is really contagious and makes you want to just never end the meeting for sure. So I'm really very thankful to Rukia for inviting me to come, and I hope to join you again at some point in the future.
Thank you very much. I think last but not least, he's wearing a white shirt and a tie, so he's prepared to give us 10 to 20 minutes. Jason, I'm going to have to ask for 30 seconds. What were your thoughts, sir?
My favorite part of the meeting was the beginning. Having you acknowledge all the people who had previously served in their roles was just amazing. That was a master class in trying to come up with saying things to let people know that you appreciated the hard work that they did. Everybody could learn from that because these roles aren't easy to take on, but the fact that you do is a wonderful thing, and you did a great job. It was a great experience to see you do that. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Those of you that attended the conference saw Jason in person. Better looking in person, and also for the 50th time, Harold G is really tall. If you ever run a 5-on-5 pickup game, you need to pick him first or second. All right, let us get to the lineup for next week. Victoria Trabash, are we able to pull that down? And I just realized, Rakia, I didn't ask you your thoughts about the meeting. I apologize.
I didn't know that.
Where are my manners?
No apologies. I've been in the same Zoom with you a lot to where I just said, hey, I'm a regular. Didn't matter.
Family, exactly.
Great meeting. You guys, just like any other Toastmasters, I love all of the evaluations, and I love it's like a family. Even though I'm not a member of this club, I felt very much like it. So great job. And I'll be back when I can. Normally I'm working, but I do childcare for teachers, and I have the summer off. So good to be here.
Well, our VP of membership wants you to know that you're always welcome to visit, and you're always welcome to become a member. I mean, look what Trudy is doing. Promising things are coming from Sheila. When I dream the wildest of dreams, I see Jason as a member. I'm just saying. So let's just all unmute and just applaud and say goodbye to the new year, and know that the new one coming is to be just as good. Thank you all for a wonderful meeting.
So, and welcome to all our guests. How great to see everyone today.
It was a great meeting. We close with the thumb up for those of you that have been giving it. Vicky is sending out copies if you want. We wish Judith happy birthday once again. And we thank Pamela and acknowledge her for her inaugural trip as a Toastmaster. It was an excellent meeting.
Look at that.
Thank you all. And Shantae's Canva report. I still can't get over that she does that real time.
Canva class next Saturday.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Vicky's speech was determined, not difficult.
Not difficult, determined. And I got
somebody knew those
feedback.
two D's were there.
Yeah, I know. I got feedback that people came up to me and said they thought it was the best session they went to. So
That's great. Oh.
I really, and I'm real serious about this. Toastmasters makes a difference. I speak all the time at Toastmasters. And when I have to talk, you step on my foot and my mouth opens. I'm ready to go. And I would not be ready to go if it wasn't for Toastmasters. So don't find ways to use it outside. I said that to Trudy and I said that to Tamara. I said, find ways to get your message out of these great meetings into the world because you have something to say.
As Jason, he speaks all the time.
That's right. Yeah, he's going to speak in a few minutes to me. I'm going to help him with his speech as soon as we're done here.
Vicky, just so you know, when you're not around, I'm speaking about you just as a way to promote the club. I say you should have seen Vicky Trebas before she joined MoE. She was a mess. She was unemployed. She was lost, without direction.
Disheveled, no makeup.
I wouldn't go that far. I don't want to shame you that way, but I'm just saying we made you. That's the story out there, just so you know.
John, I completely agree with you. I was one of the people who was so excited about this club. And when I came to the first 2 meetings and I thought, I don't think so. I said, I don't really think that this is what I want to do. And then as it improved, then I thought, okay, I think I am ready to do this. But I agree. It was the first, I thought, no, I didn't think that this was what I really.
It took a year to land you.
Working out the kinks, and we're all contributing in our own way. I mean, look at every person on this screen and what they contribute. It's something different. It's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the magic.
And that's
all
right. Well, distinguished 3 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. And look at Mary Pryor. Oh my God, Mary, what a gift to have you back.
So good to see you.
I really miss my MoE family, but hopefully with God's help, everything will go smoothly from this day forward. So I'm hoping that everything will go well with family, friends, and I'll be back with you on a regular basis.
And I wouldn't mind a hug at TLI, Mary. You are busier than a one-armed paper hanger, but honest to God, you got to come to TLI.
I will try my best. I'm thinking in my mind that date is something I have that date, but I will do my best because I personally don't want to miss the opportunity of meeting you in person again.
Same. So anyway, all right. Well, I'm going to kick everybody off the line, but Jason. Look at me, Jason, taking over.
Bye, everybody. The total power move.
Bye, everyone.
Total.
The speaking champion.
It's my Zoom link. Y'all got to go.
Gotta go. Bye-bye.